Hey everyone, Brian here with DIY Outdoor Life. I am so excited to be back here in Indiana checking out a brand new SKU from Hiker Trailer. We're with the one and only Bob. Thank you so much for having us.
Thanks for coming.
So today we're going to show you the first Hiker stand-up trailer.
Correct. All right, so what we have here, Brian, is our prototype. This is a 6x12 stand-up, 6x12 frame, reinforced steel tube, 6 foot height in the back. I'm sorry, 7 in the back, 6 in the front with our traditional hiker curve on this. Curve may stay, we may modify that a little bit for aerodynamics, but in the prototype, we left the traditional curve there. If we start with the outside, we have some platforms and steps. This model has 2 doors, one on each side, and when we get inside, you'll kind of see the rationale for that. We have our stand-on fenders. We have windows both sides, a nice window in the back. We've equipped this one with an onboard 35-gallon water system with our shower set up and a shower room. Location of this might be a bit higher than it will be in the production, but for our purposes, what we're doing, we set that up. So, you know, traditional hot water on demand, runs off the 35-gallon tank, 12 volt. We have a propane tank mount here just to supply this system. And no need to worry, we have 2 20-pound propane tank mounts in the front. And we'll go through on the inside the things that use the propane, but we equipped this trailer not only from a propane and a power and a water, but to really be kind of a long haul off-grid trailer. And you'll see by the end of this, some of the things we've done to accommodate that. We also have a hatch on this side. There's an abundant amount of storage under here under the bunk. This hatch on this side also allows you to access some of the plumbing and stuff that's in there, which we'll see. We can pull some things out.
Serviceability in addition to storage.
Yes, it's for storage, access, and serviceability. As we move to the back, we went with the biggest hatch we could find to get under the bunk, but also to give us the most amount of access. So you can see quite a bit of cargo room in here. But it also gives you access to the power system, the water tank, very easy to get in there and work on it. We have a slide over here with a Dometic 12-volt cooler on this one, and still plenty of ample storage room, more than there is in any other hiker. And then on the back here on the top, you can see we have a nice egress window. We made it big enough that in the event there ever was an issue, you could pop out and get out. Put dual brake lights, reverse lights, rear floodlight on it. So plenty of light on this thing. Reverse lights help you when you're backing in. For stabilization, we put some scissors jacks under here. I think they're 5,000-pound jacks, so you could lift this thing off to change the tire if you wanted to.
Standard exterior GFCI.
Come around, you're right, we put this on for 110-volt access. We do have a hatch here we put for pull-out slide for the fridge. You could drop a stove here, there, drop down stove, accessories will sell for it, and still cook outside here. We don't have an awning on it yet, but we're looking at a RV 12-volt automatic awning that would give you plenty of outside space here to be outside in all climates. And again, to be able to enjoy being outside, what it's all about.
So this thing is incredible. I can't wait to see inside, but it's still a hiker trailer. So what do we got for ground clearance?
On this model, I believe we have 12 inches. Now, this has a torsion axle on it. The first frame I built for the prototype, I actually had a 15-degree down. I had 24 inches of ground clearance, which I thought was way too much.
Yeah.
This one has 12. I think I'm gonna settle somewhere in the middle or give customers an option.
Yeah.
Now, you know, this is a good height, but if you want a little more ground clearance, it's easily done with just buying a different configuration.
I know that this is just a prototype, but do you have a range of where the weight will be?
This one, which is pretty well decked out with a pretty heavy power system, we're a hair under 3,000 pounds, like 2990.
So you're still SUVs, light duty trucks.
Absolutely.
No problem with any of that. I'm not sure I would hook onto it with a smaller vehicle or like a CVT or something, but you could. It's within the range of some of those.
You know, the battery system alone in here is probably 200 pounds. So depending on your battery choice or power choice or whatever, water tank, you know, this was with the water tank empty, but you know, and if you'll, as you'll see, things are strategically put close to the axle to minimize any impact on tongue weight.
Yep.
When you have a full tank versus an empty tank, and the battery center is over the axle. So I think tongue weight came in on this thing at right around 300 pounds.
So about 10%.
About 10%, which is on the lower end of what you want to target.
Will give you a little room to go north, though.
It does. We have the access hatch for the on-demand hot water heater, which you'll see what it services. And in the front, propane connection and two 20-pound tank mounts. We can configure it however anyone wants. Spare tire on the front, arc jack, you're ready to go.
So you went to the extreme off-road arc jack, so a little bit beefier.
We did.
Do you have the same mounting system? I see that it's attached to the frame. Has something been modified with the standard hiker style of?
Well, we do both now. We have the
Okay.
bungs that we put them on, or we bolt them on. What we have found is the bung mount is okay, but I think the additional ability of clamping it on the tongue gives you a lot more versatility. We've had several customers who inadvertently don't pull it up and tend to drag it, and so this is a little stronger for those situations. So on this one right now, we have a 2-inch ball hitch. You can use an articulating hitch, a lock and roll, whatever you want. They're interchangeable. We have a breakaway kit on it.
This charges for the breakaway.
It does.
Now, this is that style of Dexter. I think it's a Lippert axle, though, right? The torsion axle.
Yes.
Is it 3,500, 4,500?
This is a 5,500 pound.
55. So you're not cutting any lines close. You're going with a full. So you have some payload capacity as well.
Yes, sir. This is a heavy hauler to take on long expeditions with the cargo space and the water tank size and the axle size, and again, dual stabilizers on the front as well, which I really like because I hate relying on the arc jack for stabilization.
Yeah, it can have a little bit of slop there.
Right.
Now, everything I see, and I mean this in a good way, is hiker. It's what I expect. But obviously, this is the standout feature for this new model. So, care to show us inside?
Absolutely. Let's take a look. So this is the driver's side door, which would be an option on this model. Pull down step, really nice, folds in, folds out. Takes a little ground clearance, but really handy, quick to deploy, very sturdy. This prototype, I put most of the features that anybody could want. So when you look at it, it's got a lot of things in it. We're going to offer a few options. One of the options could be this front completely open. It could be a DIY special. The door's an option, you could leave that. So if you look at that, you've got about 5 foot here, 5 foot by 6 foot to do whatever you want. You could put a love seat in there if you wanted. But in this configuration, I have a privy room right here. I don't have a door on at the moment, but that's why the door on that access. And if you look, there's a max fan, circular max fan in the corner. So you could really put a wag bag portable toilet in there, close the door, have privacy, access from the outside, and your own ventilation system with an onboard light on there. So
this has been one of the things that, if you own a hiker, or really any small trailer, you go to get gas and a bunch of people come up to you like you're a celebrity. They want to see it.
right.
Everyone loves it, but the one thing they all say is, where do you go to the bathroom? And most
Right.
of us say, oh, we got tents outside or state campgrounds.
Right.
But this is really nice, especially if you are camping with the missus. There's just a little bit of privacy to be able to go in and use the variety of toilets that are on
Or
the
to
market.
fold up your toilet and change in it.
Exactly.
You can come in and change in the privacy while someone else is still in here doing whatever.
I think we could work something out with a shower too eventually, right?
We could. It's designed, I could put a shower pan in there, run some water to it. We have plenty of water, and you could have it a shower/privy room, no doubt about it. I intentionally stayed away from gray water, black water tanks.
Yeah.
I just feel if I were to do that, you're plowing a lot more money into the trailer, and it gets more expensive really quick. So
Well, and there's two different types of people, and I think hiker people know, it's like the simplicity of a tiny trailer is one of the things we love. And then, I'm on a 30-day road trip. Eventually, you'd like a little bit more space. I do think this is the perfect, nobody wants to truck around a black tank with the
Right.
stinky slinky. And,
Right.
So this is a nice in-between.
It is, and the portable toilets with the wag bag technology and all that, it's phenomenal. Yeah, you obviously get good headroom in
Yeah.
here. Like I said, 6
And this is on the down
in the
radius
front, 7.
even.
So yeah, you're probably, 6 foot 7 or 8 clearance in here.
Perfect.
Max fan here. Max fan, good product, but when you turn that on, open the windows, plenty of air flowing through, in or out, whatever you choose.
I love this fan. This is the fan I have in my hiker, and I'm gonna come up with a little bit of like a pulse width modulator, something to tone this light down. But I'm noticing in the bigger trailer, it's really nice.
It is.
In the smaller trailer, it's like I'm
a
at the
bit
dentist.
overwhelming. It is. And if you notice, this one has some cabinetries. We put some diffusers under the
I see that.
under the LED lights just to soften it.
And it really does show. So it's important to say this. I am here probably a couple months before I'll release the video, because this is a prototype. This is still under lock and key. This is going to be a big surprise for folks. So what we're seeing here isn't a finished, ready to sell trailer. This is still you in the final stages of your brainstorming. What works, what doesn't.
That's right, Brian. I would say we're 85 to 90% of this is going to stick. We're now finalizing some of the cabinetry, some of the layouts, so we don't overwhelm people. We're going to offer about 3 configurations for this trailer, standard configurations.
Yeah.
We put our ideas together. What would we like? What would I like when I'm camping? My wife and I always want to be outside, but when the weather goes bad, there's sometimes we just have to be inside. So with the fridge, with the stove sink combo, with the slide out tray, we have a little bit of room to prep a meal, do what we need to here, stay out of the weather until it gets better. We have, storage drawers across here as well. So we've maximized the amount of storage that we could get in here, drawers here, and give you all the conventions of a convenience of a small kitchen. So that's what this is. This is a micro kitchen, gives you room to store pots, pans, some food, paper plates, whatever you need. So you really can prepare a meal here, and you have a bunk to sit here and eat on. So it does have under here a little pop-up table too.
Okay.
So the table concept may not make the cut. This concept is a pop-up table. You can fold it down, put your mattress on it. The other option we're looking at is a fold-down table from the side. So we thought it would be convenient if you're in here, but again, we don't expect people to spend a lot of time in here to eat. Even if you're cooking in here, you may be out there. So we just thought it'd be cool to come up with a concept that we could do it if someone asked for it.
I mean, to me, the idea is simple, and you've said it a couple times. I camp out of a trailer, not camp in a trailer.
Right.
I'm going places to see outside, but I'm a winter camper, and sometimes you wake up in the morning and it's raining cats and dogs. Just to be able to have a little bite,
Sure.
a little oatmeal and a cup of coffee.
Absolutely.
Read the paper, whatever you brought with you. I don't know. So a minimalist inside approach. I think you nailed it. I think it's everything that you're looking for. I'm also seeing some ventilation, so you have some climate control.
Absolutely. We have the Truma Saphir in here, HAV system, air and heat. Works well in our tests. We've had it field tests, so it's an onboard system. The controls are very simple for it to operate. You just dial in what you want, whether you want fan, heat, cool, what temperature you want, hit the button, and away you go. So it's incorporated under the bunk here, and it has vents throughout. We've kind of strategically placed them to maximize the cooling, and from having tried it a few nights, it does a great job heating it and cooling it. We've not had any complaints.
Now, I saw your standard, I know the hikers well now, I saw your standard 15 amp NOCO inlet. So this isn't even a 30 amp setup. This is a standard 15 amp plug to power this offshore power?
The shore power basically feeds the Goal Zero.
So you have,
we have the Goal Zero 4000.
Or any other comparable power station.
Yes. So it'll also have solar that we can plug into there. So this is the brains of the system for our electrical.
So this feeds the AC and DC components, and that shore power feed I'm seeing is just a battery charger, probably 1,500 to 1,800 watts.
Correct.
So if you went to a campground, you could get pass through on this. This has UPS, so it'd be just like plugging in, but it'll charge your battery as well.
It
so
does.
That whole heat pump system, the hot water heater uses propane. So this is an off-grid trailer.
It is. It is. So when shore power comes to the Goal Zero, as you know, the way the Goal Zero works, it services the demand that you have now. Any surplus charges the Goal Zero.
Yep.
We've hooked up the Goal Zero high output connectors to a combination distribution panel just below it. So we have all of our 12 volt and 110 volt fuses are down there. So the Goal Zero feeds the distribution. The distribution feeds all of the circuits to all of the onboard electric demands that we have.
So I did videos on this a number of years ago because of the high output that Goal Zero was offering. And years later, Blue Eddy gave you 25 amps on certain models, but you can feed your full fuse block just like you have a battery, and there's no limits. I run my furnace. I'll even charge a smaller power station while running my fridge and everything else. So opposed to the 8 to 10 that we're used to with the automotive style, you have 3 times that capacity, and of course you're using the AC connection to run all of the 120, 110 circuits. So it's,
and for capacity, what we did, we put 2 tanks on this, 2 4,000 tanks. So we have 12,000 watts fully charged right here when we're ready to go, and so should give you ample time without solar. But once solar is there, it is as close to indefinite as you can get.
Now, is the heat pump run on 110?
It does.
Okay, so if somebody wanted a different brand, any of your higher end Blue Eddies or EcoFlows are going to have all the same capability, although some of them don't have the 30 amp for DC. You could still power your lights, fans, and the regular.
Absolutely.
So you're not boxed in to one brand with this either.
No, we just chose this system. It's a good system.
Yep.
It has the 12,000 watts we were looking for, again, to make this a long haul trailer. Even the HVAC system we have here, some people may not want that. There are other options for heating, air conditioning that people are looking at. We're looking at some new technology, but these products we thought were some of the best products out there right now, and they fit well together to maximize what we could do with this trailer electrically.
Now, I haven't featured Goal Zero on the channel for a while. I used to be a fanatic. I went through a lot of their stuff for a long time. I do know a lot about this system. You could cover every square inch of this surface, a roof, with solar panels in series or series and parallel, and feed it into this as well.
The week I had it out, we did not use shore power intentionally. I had a portable panel I put on it. And I think we went from 100% to, I think, 68% a week later, just with one 200 watt panel charging it.
That's perfect. Now, what the beginners will figure out is, it seems like it'll go for years until you start running air conditioning.
Absolutely.
Air conditioning is the one that I swear that 90% of my investment, it was 100 degrees where we camped yesterday. I'm running off-grid AC, and my truck's squatted like this from carrying batteries.
Yeah.
So
this system, when you turn the AC on, draws around 850 watts.
Okay.
Is from what I experienced.
And that's probably an 8,000 to 10,000 BTU AC.
Yes, and once you get it up to temp, or get it cooled off in here, it goes down significantly. But when it starts up initially, you're in that 850 watts. Now, this trailer, we have the traditional skin on the outside. It's wrapped. It has an aluminum structure in here on the walls. It has 1 inch of rigid foam insulation.
It does.
And it's got the UV 1/2 inch ply on the inside. So the R value on this is kind of amped up from our regular hiker trailers. Haven't calculated it, but we're probably hitting R 10, 12 on the sidewalls.
And it's going to be more important. Like with the smaller hikers, you insulate the roof, which is really where it is. It's about envelope seal and the direct sunlight on the roof. But with a trailer this size, the R value is going to come in a little bit more. That's really nice that you went with a solid core like a high density foam board or something.
Yeah. It really cools it down quick, keeps it cool, heats it up, keeps the heat up. You know, the worst things we have for R value are windows.
Sure.
And that's why, buy the insulated curtains. They tremendously help you with that.
Absolutely. And, chilly camping's one thing. I do some camping that drops down to 0 and you learn a lot, but that's probably less than 1%, 0.5% of the people that buy these trailers. They're pretty much 3 seasons, But you have options.
And this, Brian, with the water system and all of the piping and everything, you could do indefinitely cold weather camping here. And as long as you keep this space here, you know, in 40 degrees or more, which would be pretty easy to do, you don't have to worry about your tank underneath here freezing. So
Here's a tough question for you. If I was obsessed with that Truma furnace that you offered, could something like that go on a unit like this?
the Truma Vario heat,
The Vario heat.
yeah, there's no reason you couldn't put it under the bunk here. Lower capacity, but you know, for a trail this size, it's probably going to do it.
And what I noticed with the 10-foot mid-range XL is that, just like you said about the heat coming out of the air conditioning on this, it comes up at first and then it just purrs.
Yeah.
I don't need it 70 degrees. I'm just don't want my water to freeze.
No, this
inside.
this system that we have in here is definitely larger than you need for here.
Yeah.
It's used for larger traditional RVs made up north that are not well insulated and, you know, twice the length of this thing and 8 foot wide. So it's an overkill, but in talking to the Truba folks, it's still efficient when it only has to heat a smaller space. So we said, let's try it. But when we offer this for production, there'll be multiple options. I like hiker, no two will be alike.
Yeah.
And that's what's the simplicity, and that's the benefit of us. It's customizable. For production purposes, you know, the galley will try to guide you in a couple configurations. But from there, you know, obviously, you know, do you need cabinets on the top? Probably not. If that's not your thing and you want bunks or something like that, we have the option
you
to
go
look
to
at
those
it.
hiker rallies, right? Some people have a flat screen TV in here.
Well, that's going to go right behind you. We already figured that out.
Some Spartan folks will have nothing but like a yoga mat and a sleeping bag. So it's
right.
My perspective on this, from what I've seen, this is first for me as well. It's everything that I love about hiker, and it's just opening the door that much wider. You always hear people say, well, I just need to be able to stand up. I'm not as young as I used to. I'm not this, I'm not that. I can't change my clothes. You've given it to them, and I wish you the best. I hope that I see a bunch of these out on the road.
I hope you will. The driving motivation for this was to have a stand-up hiker. The other motivation was there are a lot of stand-up trailers. They're very expensive, especially those that claim to be off-road or are off-road capable. You know, they're 40, 50, 60,000 starting. My goal on this trailer when we started was 3,000 pounds, and can I get it under $30,000? And that's nicely equipped. We don't have the pricing figured out yet, but I am hopeful. We hit the 3,000 pounds. You were under that. And I'm hoping we're going to come in at a price no one else can beat for a stand-up trailer, well equipped. So
I love
that's
it.
our
So
goal.
built like a hiker, but priced like a hiker, but giving you more options. And for anyone that is not a trailer enthusiast, I know the companies that make a camper comparable to this, they're $60,000+.
Yeah, they're expensive.
So if you can get this thing anywhere near 30,000 and under 3,000 pounds, 10% tongue weight, this trailer is going to be for a lot of folks. So.
That's what we hope. I've taken it out to a couple small hiker campouts just to get some feedback, and a couple of them have asked, how can we trade ours in to get the stand-up? So, you know, we are thinking about trade in, trade up. I mean, that's we realize some of our people have had their campers. They're getting older. Myself, I'm like, wow, I like this too, and I have an EOR, but this has some flexibility, a little more room and comfort. So. There's no doubt, I think, for some hiker people, they will step into this, and some will want to trade up. And fortunately, the hikers hold their resale value. So the ones they have, they can sell pretty easily. So we're excited. We hope to have this thing ready to go and taking orders by the fourth quarter, with delivery sometime in the first quarter.
So as I mentioned, or will mention, my promo code is good. I will put that in the video description along with anything that comes out. This video is pre-filmed, so final details on pricing and codes and all of that good stuff. But make sure to follow the links to see where we went with this. And I'll see you in September for Hiker Fest, right?
Sweet, thank you.
Thanks a lot.